This Liberty Sports Update is brought to you by Beacon Credit Union.
All right, it's time now to check in with the Liberty cross-country teams. Both the men's and women's programs will get their season started coming up here this Friday. And for more on that, we're visiting with Coach Brant Tolsma and also the new interim head coach for the men's and women's teams, Rebekah Ricksecker. And Coach Ricksecker, before we get to you, Coach Tolsma, I want to start with you. And let's talk about this process here, a little bit of an interesting situation for the program and a quick transition that had to be made with Coach Ricksecker moving in. But tell us about how we got to this point.
Yeah, well, we thought that Tim Sykes would be here, and he had an opportunity late in the summer to go out and work with the program in Oregon. And he saw that as a good career step. So it wasn't what we were hoping for, but God works in all these things, and we're having faith that he's worked all out the details. And we asked Rebekah if she would step in and serve as interim head coach. This was the first year I changed my title to Director of Track and Field and Cross Country because I've been working with multis and pole vaulters, and the time that takes pulls me away from distance quite a bit. So they've been handling it on their own pretty much, and Rebekah's been around 6 years, so she knows what's going on, and we have confidence that it's going to be a good year.
Yeah, I was just about to say this is year number 7 for her. Is this kind of a natural transition to make?
Oh, I guess so. God worked out the details, and he knows better than we do.
All right, well, Coach Ricksecker, let's talk to you. And how about this transition and taking on this new role? Are you excited for this opportunity?
I'm very excited for it. I had the opportunity to work pretty closely with the men this past spring, and then the fall, 2 falls before that in 2016. So I feel like the transition has been smooth, and it's a great group of athletes to work with. So I'm definitely enjoying it. Good team dynamic, and excited for the season.
You competed here as well yourself, and I would imagine that there's probably a certain element of pride that goes into this as well. What is that pride level for you being a head coach here?
Yeah, absolutely. I was honored to run here as an athlete. My brother was on the men's team as well, so I've got a lot of history with this program and have been an athlete under Coach Tolsma, and I've worked with him for years. So this program really means a lot to me, and I'm excited to do my best to further the program. I think we're in a really good spot.
And probably a unique perspective that you have on things as well, and that you've seen the whole thing grow. Before this building that we're standing in was even here, you've kind of been part of that process over the last 10 years of watching this program become what it is today.
Yeah, it's been a very exciting program to work with, and I think one of the reasons is our program, both cross country and track and field, have really been, it's almost a snowball effect the last few years, I think, with the new facility, and we've got a young team of very talented athletes, and I think, our future looks really bright, and we're attracting a lot of talent across the country. Both in the U.S. and international students as well.
Yeah, definitely a lot of internationals here. Let's talk about some of the key players here on both these teams here, competitors for you this year. The Lady Flames picked 2nd in the ASUN preseason poll, and then the men picked 3rd in the preseason poll as well. Tell us about the expectations that you have for these runners coming up here in a new league this year.
Well, I have been with the Big South as well as Coach Tolsma for a long time, so I'm excited for the change and a new schedule this year. I think with the teams that are returning and with our addition into the ASUN, that it looks like it's going to be a 3-team race probably for both the men and the women. And there's some stock that you can put in rankings, but you've got to run the race, and I think it really comes down to who put in the summer training and who can stay healthy by the end of the year and peak well. So rankings do mean something, but I don't put a ton of stock in them.
And what about Azariah Kurwa getting the preseason Runner of the Year honor in the ASUN for the men's side? Certainly no secret what he can do.
He trained well this summer, and he's definitely grown a lot as an athlete and as a person over the last few years that he's been here. So I'm excited to see his progress continue this year.
And lastly here, let's talk about Friday coming up. Virginia Tech, first meet for the ladies and for the men. What expectations do you have for them?
Well, for this particular meet, it's very low-key. We're actually viewing it more as a workout. And we're not going to put a lot of emphasis on this meet at all. We're focusing more on the later season meets. So it'll be just a chance to get out there on the course and get a low-key race under each athlete's belt.
All right, very good. Well, Coach, congratulations on the opportunity here. And Coach Tolzman, we appreciate your time as well. Yeah, she's done well in media training, it seems like. You've coached her up well there.
Well, she was an English major at college, so that's very good. But just want to close, I think that the flames are going to burn bright in the Atlantic sun.
Looking forward to it. So for Coach Tolzman, for Coach Ricksecker, my name is Nick Pierce for the Liberty Flame Sports Network.